Okay, so this is starting to look quite good, but not good enough as in the finished project. I also had some nice visualization of this top bar. If we're all the way to the right, it should say append mode, so you know you're in append mode. If you move slightly to the left, this append mode should be deactivated and it should show you that you're in a different mode, like the parallel drawing mode. And it should also tell you from where to where your in and out points go. So let's fix this next. And for this, we go into the slider, as this is where everything will be happening. So inside of this slider, we need to know two things. So let's first select the null. So go one level up, say null 2 normally. Although we don't need to select it as it's already available here. But anyway, also select something else. That's the in and out points. So one level up, IO, and there you have the in and out points. So first, let's add another container. And this container should, let's see, fixed width, yes, because we want to tell how wide it is, but vertically you can just fill, like take the same height as the slider you are inside of. So that's looking good. And somehow we want to use these in and out points to make them tell this container the space it needs to take inside of the slider. So where in this slider it should be representing a green section. So we need an offset and a length for this container. And we will also make it look green in a moment. But anyway, this container is now inside of this slider, and using these in and out points we need to tell this container where it needs to start being green and where it needs to end being green. So for this we first want to remap our in and out points back to 0 to 1 range. So again we use a math. And in the range tab, we say, okay, from range, it will be a range from 1 to operators. Let's go look one level up for the counts operator, if I'm not mistaken, and for the append length channel, and add 1 to this value. So if we just go have a look, you'll see that the slider goes inside of this one still from 0 to 1. But these in and out points, they are in fact using this range mapped value that now goes from from 1 to 8, which is actually 7 plus 1, because 7 is the append length and we appended 7 lines. So that's where this value is coming from. So anyway, this value has been remapped back to a range of 0 to 1. So now we can again remap this range to the range we want to use inside of this container. That's actually, so now it is going from 0 to 1, but we know that the width is 1280. So now we will have, normally, if I can select it, it's acting a bit strange. So if I set an in point now using Shift O, you'll see that the out point changed to 8, but I remap it to a 0 to 1 range, and then again remap it to a pixel range that goes from 0 to 1280. And now we can use this almost to tell this container that's now inside of the slider where it should start visualizing a green bar in order to tell, okay, your in point is from here and your out point is still here. So with one extra math, we can say that it should subtract the channels, and this will allow us to tell this container where to start, because the starting point is the in point, so we can use it here. And the difference between in and out is actually the width we can use in the width. So therefore this one should now have the correct width, but it's a negative width, so we will need to check why this is. Yeah, probably we can just use the math and do a channel post operation, set it to positive, and now it should have a width of 1242, which is 1280 minus 38.17. So that's looking good already. It still has a height of 25, which is still the same height as the slider. And by going to the look page, we have this background. We can pick a green color. And if we slide this to the right, you can see that it starts to show its color. Okay. Might need to disable this one. Display, yes. So this is in the new TouchDesigner 2022. It uses a comp text. That's also a container, so they're occupying or they're fighting for the space inside of the slider. So for now, I will just disable this one. So our in-out container can be visualized. Okay, so apparently if we disable this text one, which we don't really need, we're already able to see our green in and out bar container, whatever, but we're not able to click the slider anymore. That's because the one inside is actually taking the clicking, or it's stealing the clicks. So therefore we need to go to this container panel and click through. So it's not capturing the clicks and it leaves the clicks for the slider above. And now we can again control the slider while still viewing the in and out points. So let's do some testing, set an in point, set an out point, and we're able to update our in points and our out points, which is looking quite good. Okay, let's go have a look. We only want to show this though if we're just backing off from the append mode, which is all the way to the right. So therefore I will only increase this background alpha when our select for the slider is equal to 1. So therefore we will say, let's say alpha can be 0.25 if operator select 1, channel 0 is smaller than 1, else it should be 0. So therefore now it's not visible. If you just back off a little, then the in and out points should become visible. And then we only need some text to say if we are in append mode or in output, in point output, in point out point parallel drawing mode. So let's take a text chop. Oh, where is it? Ah, okay, you're down here. Make it look at its parent panel size, so that's nice and easy. The text can be Python driven, so we can say IO. If, let's see how it's called. So select 1, if operator select 1, channel 0 is smaller than 1, else you can make it the text something like append with maybe a dash to say that it's only active if you're all the way to the right, append to the end. So that's that. So now it should already visualize or show the correct text, but you see that it's clipped. So let's go to font, automatic, yes, no fit, always auto fit, and therefore it will play nice. Okay, and then it only needs the right color. So font color, we want to change these two. So let's do this. So we want it to be white if we're smaller than 1, if we're backing off. So 1, if, let's see, operator select 2 it was, I keep forgetting, select 1, channel 0 if it's smaller than 1, else 0. Let's copy this to the next one, and therefore it should, let's see, yes, that seems correct. So if we're all the way to the right, it should be red. If we're backing off, it should be white. Aha, okay, it's happening down here. It's looking good, but now of course we need to tell the parent, so open parent parameters, to look at text 1. So look at not the back, what is this back, I don't know, but let's just change it to text 1, and there you go. So if we back off, we have green, and that's exactly what we want. So now this seems to be finished. If we go do some testing, we see that the border is still missing. So that's still one thing to fix. Now it's looking way too black. How is this possible? Let's see, maybe it's happening on here. Background, we might be able to change it to something like this. And that already seems to be fixed now. So maybe just put it at 0.5. And there you go. So let's wrap it up. Remove all the lines, set it to append mode. Here we can pick a color, some purple. Okay, we have some purple, we can pan it around, we can switch to a different color, we can do some drawing, yet another different color, we can do some drawing. And then I forgot something, or I realized that in parallel to the purple line, I might need to draw something else. So I set an endpoint at the beginning, Shift I, Shift O to the end of the orange event. So between these points I can now draw something, but my line color is blue, but I want to draw in purple. So let's hold Ctrl Alt Shift. Let's sample this color, and there you go. In parallel I can just draw some additional parallel line to this one, and now you see that it will be drawn in parallel while the others are still following after this purple one. And I can do the same for the blue one. So blue, an in point, an out point, just back off a little so that I'm in parallel drawing mode, sample the blue color, and you can do some additional context drawing. You can move it around, and now zoom out, go back and go forth, and you see that you're able to append lines, but also be able to do some parallel drawing in order to give more context. And that's exactly what we wanted to create. So now we're almost at the end of this very, very long tutorial, I'm realizing. So I'll try to keep this one shorter, but I can't promise, as this one is already taking way too long.